was. So
Yeah.
it's been tough. But that kind of leads to another thing you said about like once you're done like focusing on your health, if you had to pick, let's say, 5 supplements that were most useful as far as like promoting your health and improving it, what would they be? I know five's kind of hard to
Can it
box it
be
down into.
like pharmaceutical supplements?
All right, let's say maybe 5 pharmaceuticals and 5 like regular natural
Okay.
supplements.
Okay. I think everybody has to be on Tutka for liver health.
Okay. Even if you're
Yeah.
not on anything,
Just year round, dude. Just put it in there year round.
even if my liver enzymes are like in the 20s.
Just put it in.
Okay.
Just
Fair.
put it in, even if it's only 250 milligrams, because you're eating
Okay.
more food, you're training harder, your liver enzymes will be more elevated than the next guy because you're training hard. You need to detoxify more. Plus, you need to lubricate your stool so you don't get colon cancer later on in life. And Tutka is the way to go. So even 250 milligrams, 500 or 1,000, depending on how much drugs and food you eat. I
Okay.
think that's pretty much mandatory. I think astragalus root extract,
Okay.
astragalus, yeah,
Yep.
for your kidneys. I wish I ran that from the beginning. 4 grams
Okay.
at minimum, and then
Wow.
upwards of 6 grams, 8 grams if needed, depending on your kidney function. Right, to lower the inflammation, make sure kidney filtration is good. Um, Fish oil, multifunctional. Fish oil with each meal, a high potency fish oil that's at least 500 milligrams EPA and DHA and isn't rancid. So when you cut the fish oil tablet open and you smell it or you taste it, you shouldn't gag immediately. It should just feel normal. Like, okay, fishy smell, but it's not, horrendous.
One
And
question with that though,
mhm,
the fish oil, does it need to be spaced out throughout the day, or if you take it all at once?
I prefer to space it out. Yeah, because otherwise my poop is a little bit oily,
Okay.
even
But
with the high grade. So I just take one capsule of 840 milligrams EPA, DHA, and a couple other omega 3s with each meal. And I have 5 meals. So I have 5 of those capsules, yeah, per day.
okay.
Yeah, and then with my salmon and the chia seeds and, walnuts and a little bit of omega 3s from steak. And then you get a fuck ton of omega 3s in. And you never get a blood clot.
Well, and doesn't fish oil lower triglycerides pretty significantly?
Yeah, yeah, my triglycerides are 30 year round.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
The
So
doctor
touch.
for at first they saw it. They were like, "Are you absorbing your fat correctly?" So
Yeah.
I eat
That-
150 grams of fat, but no, it's very potent. Yeah, it's very, very, very potent. I
I'm
like
on
fish
fish
oil.
oil
Just
now, so
sorry.
I'm on fish oil now, so I'm good.
Great.
That's good to
Yeah,
hear.
keep taking it. It lowers inflammation, improves insulin sensitivity. I mean, there's so many benefits. Even if it was twice the price, I would still be taking it. It's just one of those no-brainer supplements. I would say B100 Complex for all athletes.
Vitamin B complex.
Yeah, just a vitamin B complex
Okay, I
can
love
be.
that.
Yeah. So what I do nowadays is I take a B50 before training and then a B50 in the morning. So you have half the dose in the morning and half the dose in the afternoon or evening when I train, and I feel that I get a little bit more energy. Whether that's from the B9 or the B12, I'm not exactly sure. But I feel that just your nutrient partitioning and all that stuff, your energy levels are just better with a B50 or B100 complex. Yeah. So now we're at 4, right? 4?
Yeah, and I think I feel more energetic too after I do the Jaros B complex.
Yeah.
Doesn't B lower homocysteine or something like that too?
I think one of the B vitamins does that. Yeah.
Yeah,
B3 maybe. No,
that's what
not exactly. Don't quote me on this, guys. Not exactly sure, but I think homocysteine you can lower with one of the B vitamins. Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
And the
4.
last, yeah, and the last one, maybe NAC, but honestly, I would rather do injectable glutathione as one of the ancilleries. So, considering that we have injectable glutathione under our exposal, as boring as it sounds, I would add in 25 milligrams of zinc.
Okay, why?
Maybe,
What does that mean? I know what it does.
okay. So zinc helps with semen volume.
Okay.
For that reason, it's already great. Um, Helps to control acne a little bit. It acts as a aromatase inhibitor or reduces the aromatization of testosterone to estradiol. It plays a role in testosterone production. So when you take ACG, right, to sustain testicular function, zinc is beneficial. And zinc is a very important cofactor for androgen mediated gene transcription. So when you're on cycle and you promote a lot of gene transcription from your DNA with steroids, you need a little bit of zinc with that.
Okay.
Now, most people get 25 to 35 milligrams of zinc from their diet. And if you follow a cookie cutter bro diet with some steak and some chicken and some eggs, and then you supplement 25 to 50 milligrams zinc picolinate on top. And you probably won't notice anything, but the documentation is there, and I've been doing that for 10 years straight, and I get pretty big on low dosages. So
Okay.
still need the same for
And
that.
what about glycinate? That's good too, right?
Glycinate, yeah, glycinate is fine also. I like picolinate, but glycinate or citrate, it's people really hammer into the versions, but from my experience, it all works the same.
Okay. I've been taking zinc for like immune support,
Yeah. All right. I forgot about that. Well, there you go.
and
Yeah.
then
Very important in these times.
what about like what do you think about liposomal vitamin C for immune support too? Pretty
Fuck, I should put vitamin C in there, huh? For collagen synthesis, immune function, antioxidant status.
It's hard to take five, I know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very hard. So, what I can cheat a little bit because what I've been doing is injectable glutathione and injectable
Yeah.
vitamin C. So I'll take those two, and that is super nice, dude. Your skin gets so glowy, and
Okay.
and I don't know, it's so nice. From the yeah, it's really and all the high so girls at my gym, the super fancy girls that only train butt, and they're really on the lookout for a rich and attractive husband. They're always like, Steve, why your skin so nice? Injectable glutathione and vitamin C. You have to inject
Wow.
that? Yes. So I take 5 grams vitamin C and 1,800 milligrams injectable glutathione once per week intravenously, and I don't know, feel healthier. Maybe it's placebo. I don't really see anything on my blood work, but I do feel healthier. So that's a bonus.
Okay. Now I like that stack. I know about all those. I've taken them all at
Yeah,
various times. And
yeah.
then what about pharmaceuticals?
So we'll say the injectable vitamin C and the injectable glutathione are pharmaceuticals, and then we have ezetimibe, nebivolol, and telmisartan. Job done.
That's it. All
That's
right.
it. Job done. Because an aromatase inhibitor is not mandatory, right? Uh, Empagliflozin SGLT type 2 inhibitor is not mandatory. And, maybe a statin might be required at one point, but it's also not mandatory. But I do think that ezetimibe and nebivolol and some sort of method to control your blood pressure is preferably telmisartan. That's what most people see them to respond the best to. I think that's a golden stack, golden ancillary stack, you know? Yeah, and then
Yeah,
it's up to you not to do crazy stuff.
yeah,
That's
right. That's like, well, I'm not on anything, and I'm doing 80 milligrams telmisartan before bed,
Mhm.
and then I do the rosuvastatin twice a week. But
Yeah.
ezetimibe alone, it got my LDL down to like 97, 10 mgs a day,
Hmm.
but it didn't. Rosuvastatin will crush it a little lower.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm. But are you
Ideally,
are you are you trying to crush it because your plaques your calcium score was 2?
well, it's a couple factors. It's obviously that's one thing, but my LDL, like I said, it's always like 120 if I don't do
Yeah.
anything. It's always just I can never get it lower, even through diet. And
Hmm.
everyone's always going to say, everyone always gives me the lecture like, well, if you had a perfect diet and ate fruits and vegetables, I've tried that, guys. It doesn't lower it.
Yeah.
It's still 120. And then the other thing, like I don't know if you've ever done the 23andMe like genetic testing. I
No,
have like
not yet. No.
all the worst possible
Oh, yeah, that's
genes
right.
for
Yeah, yeah.
heart
You
health.
got you got the genetic lottery, right?
Well, yeah, because I got the 23andMe and then I did Leo's cardiovascular risk assessment, and it's like 10
Hmm.
pages. You look at all
Yeah.
the S&Ps, and I
Right.
was hitting like every one. I was like, oh God,
Yeah.
it was
Hmm.
bad. It was like increased heart attack risk times three on everything. So I was like, I better get serious about my lipids here.
Mm.
Like that really played into it.
Right, right. So now you're what, about 70, 80 with the rosuvastatin?
I think I don't know for sure because I did it last time on just 10 megs a week, and that was at like I
Yeah.
was 90 something. So I bumped it up to 2 times a week to try to get closer
Mhm.
to 70. So I haven't done labs unfortunately in a couple months. I think February was the last time.
Well, you're drug free now, so you don't need to go as often.
No, I'm not as I've gotten over that health anxiety thing I had. That's
Yeah,
kind of gone
right.
away. So that was like
And
a
you
big
fig
thing.
and the kidney stuff, the prostate stuff you figured out also, right?
Yeah, the pee. We talked about this a year ago. Like I was
Yeah.
peeing blood all the time. That went on for over a year.
Oh
Like I got
man.
a CT scan last year at this time in May. I got a CT scan because I was just like, I got to see what's going on in there. Unless because I didn't know if I bladder or kidney cancer or something. So I had to
Yeah.
make sure we could rule that out because
Right.
you pee
Checked all the
blood and
kid,
you're
all
like, and this was I've said this before. This was not like a small tint of red. This was like I'm peeing food coloring red, like dark red, like just streams of food coloring. So it wasn't a little bit of blood; it was a ton, and it was just kidney stones lodged in the ureter.
yeah.
And haven't been like it hasn't been a thing too much this year. I've had a little couple flare ups, but it's been coming
Mhm.
out in particles. So
Did
that was
did
the biggest concern.
did you go in the apple cider vinegar to increase your acetic acid, right? Did it help a little bit?
Yes, that and Chanca Piedra.
Right. Mm.
Those are
Good.
the two I used to kind of combat it, and that they both seem to work to an extent, like breaking it down a little bit. So it would
Yeah.
come out in pieces. So I get this burning sensation down there, like it
Hmm.
like burns, and then I like a couple hours later I started peeing blood, and like I could
Yeah.
get particles out. Um, but
And
my wife,
it used to get aggravated from deadlifting. Remember, we would talk about you would wear the belt, and then right after, because
the
you put some
pressure
pressure in your bladder, and then you would pee blood also. So, but
all
did
the
that
time.
come back, or is that fixed now?
I think it's for the most part gone because I've peed out
Okay,
small particles, but it was
good, good.
never that painful. And like my wife had a kidney stone during a 9 millimeter. Mine were like 2 to 3. Hers was 9 during pregnancy. She was
Damn.
in so much freaking pain. We first thought she was going into labor, like initially, like it was that
Yeah.
much pain.
Mhm.
And we had to take her to the ER, and they were literally just like giving her tons of morphine because the pain was so bad. She was just like sitting there in the worst pain I've ever seen her in from a 9 millimeter kidney stone. So
Yeah, but it's huge, dude. I mean, the
that's
urethra is
huge.
like 2 millimeters wide, no, not even. So,
I know. But yeah, I've been doing the telmisartan basically and rosuvastatin are my
yeah.
pharmaceuticals. I'm not on a beta blocker. I don't
Mhm.
know if I should be because my heart rate's usually pretty down there in the 60s, 50s.
Yeah. You
Um,
don't need it.
but
No, that you
that's
don't need it. Plus, you're
pharmaceutical.
not taking any PEDs anymore. So, like the whole reason for a beta blocker is just to prevent negative heart remodeling. Which I had an echo on my heart before I started the cycle, and after I used nebivolol and telmisartan the entire way through, and my heart still remodeled. But I think there's a little bit of muscle memory there because the time I took it was when I was just doing cardio. I didn't even train. I didn't take anything. Right. That was a year ago when I would just eat vegetables and do cardio just to get my body weight down. So I took the echocardiogram at that time, and then my heart was normal size, no LVH, no weird ejection fraction. That was my cat.